Monday. I am the governor of college football. Yes, sir. The mayor of college football, a.k.a. Downtown Nino Brown. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Welcome to another Overreaction Monday. I am your hostess with the mostest, probably the adventurer of college football, Moon to the vibes. Joined here with the mayor of college football, Downtown Nino Brown. And also with us tonight is a guy that pulls so many strings behind the scenes, the senator of college football, Mr. Dennis Noel. Been a long time, fellas. Missed y'all, man.
What's
What's
up?
poppin'?
Bro, you've been cooking.
I want to throw something out there. So as like the newer guy of the three, between you and KT, how did I get the highest title? Like you got the governor, you got the mayor, and then somehow I got labeled as the senator. Like
It's the strings, bro.
I mean, I'll take it. But like it just blows my mind.
It's the strings, man.
Moon, how do you, I want to know, did you like clone yourself to be able to do ACC and American? At the,
You just see him sprint across the street. Just
I'm like, wait a minute. He just went live a half hour ago. Now he's at American. I'm like, my man's just killing it. But you guys out there crushing it, UKT and Mikey out there just doing 100%. Kudos to you guys.
Yo, I appreciate y'all so much, man. Try to do my best to communicate with y'all, but there was so much stuff going on that week. Like, I just came down for everything, like the high of everything, being at media days, and like I felt like I had a clone sometime too, like the other dark side of the moon that popped up somewhere else. But like overall, it was a great job. Like definitely CFB Nation and the brand, company that we're building, bro. We're doing a great job of what we're doing. So clap it up to everybody because we showed out over the last 2.5, 3 weeks for media days.
Oh yes.
So yeah, it's getting jam packed, man. And I don't know how Dino got the highest title.
I'll take it.
Hey, I gotta throw a curveball in here real quick because I just saw it maybe an hour ago. I kind of talked to Dino quickly in the green room before we get into the doc, but I'm the guy, that put that flag last year about Florida and Napier goes as far as DJ Lagway. The shoulder was my original concern. Now I'm hearing dudes in a walking boot.
Yeah.
Who? DJ Lagway?
Yeah, he's in a walking boot and not practicing. I'm steadily concerned right now. And we were talking about Harrison Bailey as the backup. You're looking at a kid that's been on 4 schools in 4 years. Yes.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
He's been in 3 P4 schools, but 4 schools in 4 years. He's played less than 5 games to start. If DJ Lagway can't go, I'm saying now Napier doesn't make it past game 6. If DJ Lagway did not make it to start the season, and he's got to kick that rust off because now it's the shoulder and ankle, whatever it may be, we're talking a whole different ball game right now. And Billy Napier better be going to church every Sunday.
If he already is, he need to be staying after to get some hands on him.
Yeah.
Send some extra ties to the collection plate.
Start dunking DJ in that holy water, like bless him.
Yeah, bro. I don't know if that's precautionary, maybe. You know what I'm saying? But when you start hearing a walking boot and a mobile quarterback and a dude who's already got a shoulder issue.
Was it his throwing shoulder too?
Yeah, it was definitely the throwing shoulder that was hurt. So yeah.
Cooked.
I'm not gonna hold you. This is my first time hearing about this because everything's been busy, but I trust and rely on y'all as my sources for information anyways.
Yeah.
Does not give me good feelings at all, man, at all. And we're right on the cusp of having to pick our conference winners and conference champions.
Yeah.
This greatly impacts that because I'm like, well, 1, what is the injury? 2, how long? 3, why a walking boot? 4, why DJ Lagway? Why couldn't it be Harrison Bailey that got hurt? Like, this is crazy. Yeah. And then I'm giving the prayers up to Billy Napier because at the end of the day, bro, it's for it's 3 years straight now? 2 years straight? We have to deal with all of this?
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough, bro. That's not good news heading out at all.
But I had to throw it in there. So.
What a way to start the show, Nino Brown. Downtown. Y'all ready to get into some rapid fire questions like only we can do? There's a lot of imitators and a lot of duplicators, people that try to say that they, do this, but they really don't. Rapid fire questions. Now that media day cycle is over, I want every one of us to name 2 different teams that you felt one way about that changed after media days happened. And this could be for better or for worse. Let's start with the Senator.
All right. So first one, I'm gonna go with Baylor. I think I'm jumping on the Baylor hype train with you and KT. Just I'm gonna butcher his name, but the coach Arenada, I think is how you say it. He kind of made me a believer. He's one of those, like I talked about Coach Huff with Southern Miss. One of those guys that like rah sort of like gets you going, run through a wall for this sort of dude. And then just looking back on Sawyer, I'm buying the hype for him. So that'd be one that I'm high on. I guess also the second one is one that I'm high on, but it's not so much media day. It might have been what happened during media day. I'm going Tulane. Because of Retzlaff adding to that team, I think puts him in the position to be that group of 5 team to make the playoff run.
Do we have any objections?
I'm on the middle with Baylor, but I mean he kind of fumbled the ball a little bit there at that press conference, right?
Yeah.
The PR department was cringing with some of the things that were coming out of his mouth about throwing midgets up against a wall, a Wolf of Wall Street and stuff. And
hey, but being a military guy, I mean, that spoke to me. So
I get it. But yeah, I like both of them. I'm with it. I think that I don't know if I'm fully in Retzlaff because I don't know that we got to see if he can hit the ground running, right? Like I said, he wasn't a transfer last year. He had been at BYU for a season prior to that, so he was kind of familiar with the offense. I think the kid's got it, and I think he's better than what they have currently in that. I do like Samiza. I won't lie. I've been the Ball State kid that transferred over, but I think that was kind of like a Steve Sarkisian type move. We're going to go to the media day, and then while I'm out here and you're asking me questions, I'm going to go get my stud. So
yeah,
I like it.
I rock with that. You want me to go next or you want to cook?
Whatever you want, boss.
All right, here, alley-oop.
Let me take it. All right, I'm going to go FAU. I was kind of simmering on them. Okay. I liked the scenario here. I like that, Kitley getting his guys, right? And he's got his quarterback, and we know Kitley needs that quarterback in his style of offense, and I think Veldkamp fits that. From what he said, when my guy says the offense is exactly the same as I was a freshman with Ben Arbuckle, thank you. That's all I need to hear, bro. Because we saw what Ben Arbuckle's offense was last year, right? And we saw what John Tier did in that offense. So now we've seen what Zach Kitley's offenses do, right? And now you're talking about a guy who's locked and loaded in that spread, just air the ball out, be a menace.
With his number one receiver.
Yeah, with his guy, that's like his safety blanket no matter what. Mr. Julian Edelman 2.0 type guy. I'm in. I'm all in it. And it seems as though I look at the schedule, I look at the vibe that this team has coming out of like media days and what they've been doing through, this, from the last season to the portal to recruitment wise and stuff. 3-7, bro. I think you could easily see that number flip flop, bro. I could see them winning seven games, maybe even 8 games. I think that they're going to win a lot of these Florida battles when it comes to their schedule. I know they get tested early with a difficult opponent in Maryland, but if Maryland, we're going to talk, I'm going to talk a little bit about it later in the show. If they go with the inexperience, they could easily sneak this W and start the season off. Bro, I don't see them placing anybody really, really tough till Navy and Tulane. And outside of that, dude, I love East Carolina, but they're totally revamped, bro. Like, they got their quarterback and he's locked in, but that whole offense, wide receiver room has changed. The defensive line has changed. So these guys got a chance to be sitting there on December 5th playing for the American Championship, which is crazy knowing that they won one conference game last season. Kitley brings, you talk about coaches bringing that aura, right? And act like they've been there before.
Yeah.
Kitley kind of, you were there. So you know how he was in that.
Yo, you should have seen that man's socks, bro. When I saw him pull up with the FAU socks with the owls on it, I said, oh, wait a minute, Kelly. Buy in. Cha-ching. I said, all right, ready to go. And then I hear him talk and he actually knows. And then actually what you said about like Veldkamp, Velkamp was teaching the wide receivers the route tree and how they wanted everything ran in January. We are in July. So like that rub off factor has to be crazy. And it made me reevaluate FIU in my head because I said, oh dang, I'm looking at them like how fast can they grasp the system? Well, they said we're going to hit the ball rolling back in January. So that to me was like mind blowing because I didn't expect, Kelly to be stepping like that, to have ultimate trust in your guy to say, hey, we about to go on the recruiting trail. Hey, Velkamp, go ahead, teach the offense to everybody. That's insane work, bro. I wonder how many college coaches could do that.
He committed in 48 hours from in the portal, the 48 hours, and Mesner followed the next day. Like, Kitley's offense, my quarterback again. This is a no-brainer. As soon as Kitley signed as head coach.
I rock with everything you said, with the exception of one thing. ECU. Coach Terrell ain't playing with nobody this year, bro. That's the only pushback, because I think ECU gonna be more competitive. Nobody gonna want to go play
a lot of weapons.
I just think they got a lot of turnover. That's all. I'm in on Hauser's the quarterback, right? I'm in on him.
I think shaky on Hauser, even after meeting him. But like, at the end of the day, my own thought process on it has nothing to do with what their scheme is gonna possibly be.
Who's he throwing it to, though? That's my red flag.
No, they're gonna gel. But they're gonna gel on the wrong thing. Is it gonna be growing pains, or can they hit the ground running? Like I said, I just don't know. But that's a game at the end of the year.
Starts early though. We're gonna find out early with ECU.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So FAU is my team. I came out with I was even, but now I'm all in. As like how you and KT are on Baylor, I'm all in FAU. I think they're gonna have a total 180 this year. A team that I was even on, not really knowing, and I talked about with Dino in the green room that I'm like out. Shut the freaking door, dude. I'm done. That's Missouri. Bro, when the main focus is about how many games you should be playing in the playoff or how many games you should play in your conference, that's a big red flag to me. Like, you should be talking about your team, your mantra, your guys, what your game plan is for this year, what you expect, and running with that. Not talking, I felt like I said, I felt like it was more of a publicity stunt for him, for Eli, and not like Missouri and the Tigers. You got 22 kids in the recruiting portal, right? In the transfer portal, 22 kids turning over because you put a few, about a handful in the NFL last season, right? Your quarterback that we thought was going to be QB1 is still in a battle on Bo Prabilla, and the kid behind him just signed a deal to go play baseball, my friend. Yeah, it's still in a quarterback competition. Like, how good is Bo Prabilla when the dude is fighting for a quarterback spot, is signing $500,000 contracts with the Los Angeles Dodgers, and still, I still got this. I might be QB1 for Missouri this year too. So hold up, it's too much. That you got no solidification at the quarterback room. I'm not in on that. And then you talk about a renewed rivalry with Kansas. Dog, Kansas hasn't been good in a grip. Why is this a renewed rivalry? Come on, bro. Beep. Back it up a little bit, my friend. Eli, nah, bro. You took anything I had in positivity about this team and you threw out the window. I just don't like the aura coming out of them. I don't like how the coach was talking about everything else but football. So for me, I'm out in Missouri this year.
I don't blame you, man. Do not blame you. I heard those notes in the press conferences, and I was like, stay on focus.
Right?
Stay on the task at hand. This is not you having a whole confessional, bro. This is you to convince us about the Missouri Tigers. You over here came in like it's real world confessionals after a long night. Yeah. Like, nah, I ain't rock with that. So I agree with you on Missouri. Still got a schedule that's probably easier than what it was over the last year's schedule is pretty easy, but this year is just like people projecting them to do good things, but I still can't get behind it. I don't know, D now. I really don't know.
Talking about fight songs and Walt Disney and Texas A&M. It's like, bro, everything was about everything else but football and your team,
If you're a Missouri Tigers fan, how do you feel excited about the state of the program or the health of the program for who we have?
Right.
Yeah, it's got to be rough. I think people are just hoping Bo is something that I don't think he really is. I got no words to put it into, honestly. It's, as a Missouri fan, and it's probably just a lot of hopes and prayers, honestly.
That's
I don't
tough.
see him feeding
It
Kevin
is-
Coleman.
No, I
Like
don't
at this
either.
point, I take Blake Shapen over Bo Probilla.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if Mississippi State wants Blake Shapen.
I'm gonna give
You
Bo
know
a
what I'm
chance.
saying?
Bo
I
gonna
don't
have to
even
show
think
me,
they
man.
want him.
You're gonna have to show all of us essentially.
I
Yeah.
will say, so now that I think of it, one team, not to get off of Missouri, but one team I am kind of down on after media days would have to probably be UCF, solely because they haven't named a starter either going into fall camp, and they got 4 or 5 kids who could make the push to be a starter. I mean, you got Taven Jackson, Brown, Fancher, Belfort. I think if he's still there, I'm not sure. I mean, there's 4 guys right there, and I've said it
It's on
before.
all of them though.
Oh, I believe it. That's what's even worse about it. Like you could make a case for each one of them to be the starter, and I mean, someone's going to have to win it. I'm just surprised that someone hasn't pulled ahead enough to say, "Hey, this is where we're starting," and then if we need to change, so be it. But as far as I'm
Worse,
concerned,
though,
you
at
can't.
that point, though, what's
Oh
worse?
yeah,
Making a change 3 weeks in, or not knowing until like right before week 1?
not knowing. I'm the guy. If you got more than 1 quarterbacks, you got no quarterbacks. So I mean,
But
that's
Scotty
where I got
Tuhati just came out and said that, like I think today, or yesterday, saying that he addressed the elephant in the room. Like he knows that they got to pick a guy.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you could grade UCF on a curve just a little bit since he is just coming in?
I mean, you could, but at the same time, he's not brand new to the position. He's been there for a little bit. I mean, they got winter workouts, they
I
got
understand.
summer ball. So I feel like deep down, he knows who his guy is. He just hasn't come out with it, which I don't think is the best look.
I'm
can
going to go out
understand.
there and say that Cam Fance is going to win this job.
I'm about it. I think
Bro.
it's him or Brown.
I think I honestly think I think it's an attitude issue with Tim because it's kind of like when he was at Marshall, he got ran out of Marshall, right? He was FAU last year, played pretty good, but he played good at Marshall. It was just like he got in a pissing match with the fans, and then you can't be doing stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think him and Taven Jackson have similarities in their game. Mobile quarterbacks, right? Like they have big arms, not really that accurate. We've seen them kind of just whoop. Oh, what was that going to? But I don't know. I feel like Ja'Cory Brown is just going to be that guy that's just a backup quarter. And I'm not trying to knock the kid, but like what I saw at Miami in that one bowl game, I don't feel like I ever saw that again. And I'm like, oh, Miami's got a guy. And then they were like, no, we don't got a guy. We got a guy coming in the transfer portal, right? So, and Brown left, and like he struggled. He played, 1 or 2 games? He got beat up by the freshman last year.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's, to be honest with you, I feel like it's between Cam and Taven. But Scotty Frost is back home comfortable, right? Like he not gonna wanna do the dumb thing. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Hey, I'm happy if we got Cam. I'm really like I could get happy about all the quarterbacks that they have.
I feel like Cam's got the most experience, right?
At least he's playing in games. Like, yeah.
Right, that's what I'm saying. In-game experience. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm going to address Brian too. And Tate Martell, I think, is a bigger bust than Malachi Nelson as of right now. Just to throw that out there.
Give Malachi some time. You'll be able
time.
to.
You got to see it 3 a time.
Martell.
How much
Tate
time
Martell.
you need, bro?
Hey. Give him my bad. Give him some time with Scotty and let him cook. Because I think Malachi is poised to actually put all the pieces together this year. Like
you
this
def-
is the year. He has to. He has to,
but I don't think he will.
I think he's right now.
I think he
If we
will.
were
I'll
going into
jump on the
fall
cliff
camp
now.
right now, I think he's QB3 for them right now.
Right now?
Going into fall camp, yo, bring that up. Let me go look because
I trust Malachi Nelson is going to be the starting quarterback for.
I would go
for
Skylar
UTEP.
Locklear. I would take Skylar Locklear right now over Malachi Nelson.
Hey,
I'm
then
solid.
you're gonna be in a situation. We're just gonna have to wait to fall camp. But at the same time, he's still battling. He's in a battle. But I would say I would take Malachi based on what Scotty Walden wants to do in his offense alone. It's the scheme and the Blue Blaze offense. Malachi is my guy for that. He gives me that. Is it going to be
Could
highs and
Malachi
lows
throw for
to that point?
64%?
I don't know when it's going to blossom, but
He's running out of time for it to blossom if it's gonna.
I know. But at least he got more eligibility left than Tate Martell. He still got some eligibility time to cook.
Tate
He
Martell.
was in the class
It
of
has to be this
23,
year,
right?
though. It has to be this year.
Malachi Nelson was class of 23, right?
Was he?
Recruiting
Or-
class?
I think
Or
it was
22?
If
I
it's
think it was
22,
22.
bro, that's like,
22 or 23, one of them. We can fact check in a second.
yeah. All right. We'll check
20,
that.
22.
That's
He still got
gross.
time, though. Like, I'm not giving up on him. I just think that if he had to go to any situation, it's this one.
Hey, there was where else is there to go? FCS?
Hey, take that HBCU route. They'll
Yeah,
praise you
yeah.
like you're the savior.
Sacramento State.
They don't want him.
Yeah.
They don't want him.
All right, let's get to the rapid fire question. Now that media day cycle is over, name two teams that you feel one way
We
about
did that one. We're on the
and then
next one.
change. I didn't give y'all my answer.
Oh, my
Oh,
fault. We were
my
trying to
bad.
talk. Yeah.
We got
All
down
right.
the rabbit hole.
Number one would probably be University of Cincinnati. University of Cincinnati changed in my thought process because coming in, I had knowledge of some of the key returners, Dante Coliglione, they had Sorsby coming back, the linemen that they have that's still up there with Gavin. And I was looking, I'm like, yo, there's still not too much to be excited about. And then I just see how together that they spoke about and when we were at media days, and they just spoke with like a quiet confidence that just kind of oozes off of them. And it grew on me. I had some time to really think about this, and it grew on me that not only from like how the communications people treated us, but how the players interviewed with us while we were on Radio Row, but like all of them had the same goal in mind. Like West Virginia would be in that mix too, as far as teams that the general media would like is feeling some type of way about. They don't know what to do with West Virginia. But for their locker room, their coach, their communications people, shoot, even the mascot, like everybody is on one accord. Like, hey, we think we can believe to that we can be in the Big 12 championship, regardless of if we think that that's crazy or not. That's where their mindset is. I can't fault the team for all being together.
No.
So like teams like Cincinnati, West Virginia, I came in feeling great about. The team that I probably had the greatest disapproval for, Louisville. I'm not a Louisville supporter in 2025. I'm not. I don't care how many games that they have at home, which is 8 games at home. I don't care how good they do in the ACC. You will not, from this moment forward. What's today? July the 28th. From July the 28th, 2025, year of our Lord, all the way up into the rest of the end of the season, I will only be addressing that team as L's up. I'm not going to be mentioning their name. I'm not. It has a lot to do with how they treated us while we were at ACC kickoff and like telling them telling us that they don't need our coverage at CFB Nation. Okay, well, I won't be talking about Louisville then. So cool. They went down, and that more so has to deal with off the field. If you want me to talk about Louisville, this is what I would say before we get into the 2025 season. Their two-headed running back duo is probably elite up there in the nation between Duke Watson, Isaac Brown. Come on, man. I could sell you just by that. Colin Lacey coming back. Hopefully he can get another pop-off season. Bell is still there, and he's productive, and he came to media days. I like his performance from Bell. Bell did a great job at media days. His answers was buttoned up. He looked a little nervous at times, but he still kept it together just from like a podium performance. I was happy. Then you see Brom. I'm like, everybody has their own feelings about Brom, but Brom kept it calculated. Miller Moss is there. Arguably top 5 quarterback in the ACC. Who knows? We'll talk about that later on the show. But all these things make Louisville appealing. I mentioned to you that they play 8 games at home. And you start thinking, is it 7, 8? Somebody fact check me. Play a lot of games at home. So they're going to have a lot of chance to be favored in some matchups. Their schedule is on the lighter end. You compare their schedule with where SMU is, it's completely different, strict schedule wise. So I think Louisville is going to be competitive. Louisville is probably going to end up top 4 in the ACC, maybe even top 2. Possibly. Who knows? Is Miami dropped the ball or not? But I just gave you all the information that I will for the rest of the year about Louisville. They're going to be a darn good team, but Moon ain't going to be watching them besides in highlights. Oh, Miller Moss went for 5 touchdowns today against. Oh, okay.
8 games at home.
Yeah, but that's just based on how they treated us during media days. So,
I mean, but they get Clemson at home, Kentucky at home, Cal at home. Those are easy games. So,
yeah.
All right. How did KT feel about you in Louisville?
KT's not. This is heartbreaking for us because we've been pumping up Louisville all season long.
Yeah,
we've been literally saying I put the Cards in my top 25 poll. Like KT has been even more adamant about Louisville than KT convinced me on Louisville.
Clemson would have
and
to
he
not
said
show up.
Louisville might just win the ACC, Moon.
Cade would have to lose.
And I said, what are you talking about, bro? Clemson is going to win the ACC.
Clemson would have to not show up and transfer.
He said, nah, Moon. He said, nah.
I would be the starting quarterback for Clemson for Louisville to win the ACC.
Agreed.
Yeah. I said, yo, you might be onto something. We saw Miller Moss last year on the tour and everything. We were kind of impressed, but not that they didn't get the win in the game against Maryland, of course. But like, we look at this as a good pickup in that Brom can mold him into really something special, and he's gonna let them pass the rock. Of course, they got a 2-headed monster, really 3 plus, because they got some bags. But I don't know, bro. KT was not feeling it at all. He said that he's not gonna be talking about Louisville either. That's how bad they did us, bro.
I feel like Louisville's the new Virginia.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, and another team, side note, that I am high on is Syracuse. Syracuse, I like the Ricky Collins pickup, Like, I know it's early. I know we still gotta wait for the kickoff game versus Tennessee. But when I talked to Ricky, I was like, yo, like he has that quiet confidence, and that's the theme. People that's not the biggest talkers, but like they prove it on the field and they start walking that walk with the Johnson on the ground, and then you start thinking, like, where did he come from? I'm like, nobody's like, what is Syracuse gonna be? Well, the last time I checked, they still got Elijah Robinson as defense coordinator, and last time I checked, Fran Brown has still been cooking, and last time I checked, they still gonna be Dart as much as possible.
Dart to the foot. Hey, was there anything
their
about
players,
our guy Yasmin Willis talked about?
They believe it. They really believe it. I believe in Syracuse, and I think that when I did my ACC projections, Syracuse, when we started the year, like let's just say April, they was like probably at the bottom.
Ooh.
If there's 17 teams in the ACC, Syracuse was probably like 14 to 17 range for me. They vaulted probably like maybe top 10. It's hard to put them on the outside because I'm just like, I don't know. Ricky Collins at quarterback just gives them some life. I don't know.
You don't
who
think Angeli has a chance to start?
Nah. Like I do, because I think that they strive and breed competition every day. Fran is probably not gonna like give the full starter, but he benched that Ricky was his guy. So I think that they like their quarterback room even after the departure of McCord. But I have faith in Ricky Collins. I think that he belongs as a starting quarterback in college football somewhere. Why not Syracuse? Who is he gonna throw to? You're gonna have to convince me, bro. You're gonna have to see who is he making plays. I don't know. It's gonna be a bunch of guys that we don't know. We're gonna have to get familiar with because it's not in somewhere Trevor Pinier coming to save us. But I'm higher on Syracuse than I was going into media days for sure. For sure. All right. Coming up. Name a positional battle that people think is a competition that really isn't a competition. We'll start with the senator first.
All right. Excuse me. I went with the West Virginia quarterback battle. I think it's Nico's job, 100%. Was a top 250 recruit coming out of high school, I believe. He's just kind of been biding his time. Yes, I know he's not a Rich Rod kind of guy, but I think, or recruit, I should say, but I think he fits Rich Rod's offense. He's a little bit more accurate than the other two. We got Jalen Henderson, who hasn't played meaningful football in 2 years. Last time was with Texas A&M. I think the only guy that may push him will be Max Brown, the Charlotte quarterback. Not as mobile as Nico, but definitely can still scoot around a little bit. May have the stronger arm of the two, but I don't think he's as accurate as Nico either. So I think, end of the day, plant my flag, Nico will be the starter for the Mountaineers.
I rock with it, bro. I rock with it. I'm right there with you. Mayor.
I'm gonna go. We're gonna hit the ground here. I'm gonna go with the running back room out in Illinois. People want to say that it's still a battle between Josh McCray and Caden Fegan. No, there's no battle. It's Josh McCray's backfield. He's that guy. I mean, if you look what he did from week 7 on, I mean, this guy became the workhorse when Fegan kind of started to fizzle out and not be the dude. 21 carries, 11, 17, 14, 13. Like this dude was just ripping them off. South Carolina in a bowl game, you go for 113 and 2 touchdowns. Now, I know offensively maybe the stars weren't there, but Dylan Stewart was playing in that game. You know what I mean? Tucker Hemingway might not have been playing in that game. So there were some guys, some big-name guys in South Carolina that were playing, and my man went for 13 for 113. He's more of a receiving threat, right? This is a guy that yak monster. I know he's a little bit taller in stature than Caden Fegan is, but he ain't much smaller when it comes width-wise than Fegan. And we all like, Fegan's game because he was a bowling ball, but 6'1", 235, bro. He ain't that much smaller. I think he brings everything that you want in a typical running back and a typical 3-down running back. Like I said, he has that receiving game capability as well. But, close to almost 37%. This guy is like breakaway. Yeah, that was his percent. It was close to 37% breakaway, runs. So I'm with a guy that half of his yardage is yak. You got your guy that's hard to take down, stays on the field, can pass pro. I think they got 2 good backs that can pass pro, but I don't think it's a question. I think it's Josh McCray's RB1 spot to start the season.
Yo, great answers, bros. Ball talk. My positional battle, I'm going to go to BYU, but not for the obvious. BYU's wide receiver room is very interesting. And it is featuring Chase Roberts, who is, in my opinion, the alpha on this wide receiver room.
Yes.
But behind him, he's going to need some help. And I think that number 2 spot in BYU's wide receiver room is kind of up for grabs. And it was solidified until Keelan Marion decided to hit the transfer portal in the spring transfer window, which was like a huge blow for them. And now I'm thinking that in order for whatever quarterback to whoever it's going to be, they got 3 guys. They got to trim it down to 2 at
Bachmeier.
least. I think it's going to be Bachmeier too.
It's going to be Bachmeier to Bachmeier for Tutties on Saturday.
Listen, thank you. Alley-oop. Appreciate you, bro. Parker Kingston and JoJo Phillips are still there in candidates to take that role. I get it. Kingston, they both had 13 receptions, 196 yards. I mean, they get active in the return game, punt returns. I get it. But Tiger Bachmeier, Stanford transfer?
Yep.
Come on, trees. True freshman receiver in 2023 went crazy.
Yeah.
Led the Pac-12 in receiving yards as a true freshman with 409 kick return, punt return specialist. I think Tiger is going to get that number 2 spot. And to me, people are talking about it's close, but I don't think it's close. Tiger, it's going to be a Bachmeier to Bachmeier connection. And I think people are paying attention to BYU with the storyline of the quarterback, but the real underlying storyline is like this wide receiver core, because we already know LJ Martin is the dude.
Yes.
LJ Martin's the dude. But running back is good. But it's like, who is the quarterback going to throw to? And, my other one is the consistency of the offensive line. But I agree with D now. Like, it's going to be Bachmeier to Bachmeier.
I think he brings that they're going to stack boxes now on LJ Martin because you got an inexperienced quarterback room. So they're going to want to make you beat them with the inexperienced QB. And I understand. But Bear Bachmeier brings you the mobility. He brings
Mhm.
the connection he's gonna have. Yo, Tiger's numbers is short last year because he played what 4 games and said I'm redshirting.
Yeah,
I'm all
limited
set.
sample
Thank you.
size.
I'm all set with
Yeah.
this. I don't want to be here. This is not for me, and this isn't gonna work out in my favor. So I'm out. Yo, them and Carson Ryan at tight end. Bro, watch out. I think BYU is getting slept on because of the whole quarterback thing, like you said.
100%.
And I think this is going to let a little fire under their ass. Watch out for BYU.
So, so piggyback off that. Is Ryder going on a mission right after high school?
I think so.
Right?
That's the last that I heard that he was.
Yeah. He's going to first
He
year.
is?
It's not there. Yes.
Okay.
Right Alliance. Yeah, he's going to mission.
Yep.
You already stated it. As
Okay.
what was I saying? Brian, as
Wait,
far as
wait. Before you move on, wait. Was you saying that as a trick question?
No, I'm just saying, let's say the freshman quarterback balls out, keeps the momentum going. What happens when Ryder comes in?
Oh, that whoever the quarterback is gone.
gone.
They're
Bears,
leaving.
but this Bear knows.
Bears
He's just a
showcase.
placeholder.
Yeah.
He knows he's just a placeholder.
For his talent.
Hey, but you ball out different when you know that you're a placeholder and you're aware of that.
100%.
Or
I mean, Kurt Warner wrote a Hall of Fame career off of knowing he was a placeholder. So
I think Hank Bachmeier is going to be the worst Bachmeier out of the whole family. That is
It's
my
only
take
up
on the
from here.
Bachmeier family. I think Tiger and Bear
how
have
many schools did Hank end up?
3. 4. 4, I think it was actually.
crazy work. But Tiger is like that, man.
Yeah, he got
Like
it.
Tiger is good.
Yeah, the hair flowing, goes across the middle, go up against you in a boundary. He don't care. He's got
don't
that
care.
hit factor to him too.
But that's why I feel like he can play on the boundary on the outside and like he secure that number 2 role. Just give him some time. This is a different situation than me saying give Malachi Nelson some time.
Yeah, Jesus, baby. You know what I mean?
All right, last rapid fire question before we get out of there. Wait 1 second.
We got 2.
If you could visit, well, actually, second to last, if you could visit any fall camp in America, which one would it be? Chat, you can answer the question too. Appreciate everybody watching on this Overreaction Monday.
Send me to Eugene, baby. Send me. To
Okay.
Eugene. All right. I mean, I've been a Ducks fan forever, bro. But Michael James, you know what I'm saying? Like Kenyon Barter. Like I've been through the whole the ups and the downs. You know, the Chip Kelly era where we were putting up points and we just couldn't close the door. Right. You know, the Justin Herbert era. Then we got Bo and everything else recently. But I would love to go feel that aura out there. Go see Dan Lanning in his element, bro. Like see Mateo and Bear and all these guys, monster of human beings that are only still young kids, but they're going to be playing on Sundays. And yeah, just get me out there. Like all the Nike, like that's you go in there. It's like going to like, I don't know, a castle. You know what I mean? Like you going out there. It's like a city in itself. So get me out to Hudson. Get me to Eugene. I would love to be there for fall camp. Never mind a game. You might have to drag me out of there.
Yeah.
Senator?
That was actually my number 1 answer. I had a list of like 4 or 5. I would, after Oregon, I would probably have to say either BC or UNC just to see the pro guys take over college football again, whether that's Bill or drawing a blank, your guy up in BC.
Oh, Bill O'Brien. Bill and Bill.
Yeah, Bill and Bill. That's right.
Bill and Bill.
So then the other one would have to be Alabama, just to see Kalen DeBoer get his guy back, Ryan Grubbs, just get the mojo flowing again. Whoever's lining up at quarterback, seeing how they do in that offense. So those would be my guys.
If I had to go to any fall camp, you already know my answer is going to be for a G5 school. I was just thinking the G5 ranks. It would probably be the first ones. I'll give you a couple. The first ones that pop up in my mind is to see what Tim Albin is cooking up right now in Charlotte, because I want to see how the philosophy like transitions over and the timeline of it. Like, is it expedited? Is it accelerated? Or is it like, are the players still trying to get acclimated to it? I want to see that. I would say another G5 team that I need to see. I got to see Liberty, because at the end of the day, I need to know, is this real or is it not? Do I need to get my hopes up in 2025 or no? because we got them projected to just sweep through the conference. I need to know if I actually believe that or if I'm still on the bandwagon. And then the last G5 school, I'll say, what does App State do post Joey Aguilar? Like, what is the pulse and boom
I
like?
won't touch that one. I won't touch that one.
Like, what is that like? I'm
They got our guy JJ Cole up there, who I think is gonna ball out for him.
And
So,
Swan, bro. They might have
And
better
Swan.
quarterbacks this year than they
Swan.
had last year.
yes.
I want to see that. Definitely want to see that. And then obviously, you mentioned it earlier, but Kitley, and we're going to FAU, so that's up there on the list. For sure. Those would be my key teams that I want to see more than anything in G5. And I think it's based mainly not on nostalgia or being blown away, but trying to be blown away with getting my expectations in order for these teams. Because I'm not trying to be opening up my Kool-Aid pouch and drinking the Kool-Aid if it's premature. Because then it's going to be the end of the year and I'm going to have to answer some questions to y'all, to the people, to everybody. So I'm trying to I would use fall camps as like a measuring stick to say like, all right, Moon, you can believe in this team versus, all right, you need to fade them. Because you could see so much access at fall camp. Like who's really winning position in battles, who's actually cooking, who's not. So that would be my answer. Last one. Boldest take of the 2025 college football season is, we'll start with the mayor.
Auburn will be in the college football playoff and fighting for an SEC championship.
I almost went that same route. My bold take was going to be that they're going to beat Georgia to win the SEC. But I got a good, I got a bad. My good one is kind of a two-parter. It's Navy makes the playoffs. Blake Horvath gets invited to New York. So that's my good one.
Ooh.
My bad one is Luke Fickell gets fired midway through the year.
Wow.
Oh,
wow.
I
So
could
it
honestly
doesn't
see Wisconsin losing 8+ games this year.
it's crazy because just like you said that I could see them winning at least 7. And I can only say that just based off of the identity shift that they've done with their offense. Because we know how good their defense is.
It can be.
Yeah. You got some juggernauts in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
But I mean, you look at their
I don't
schedule.
think-
They play Bama, they play
Yeah.
Michigan, they play Iowa, and that's like no homer aspect because that's a toss-up. Then they play Ohio State, Oregon, Washington, Indiana, Illinois, and Minnesota, who I think people are sleeping on this year. That is a tough-ass schedule.
Brian, I love you, buddy, but you are such a fan favorite to the very end.
He loves his Boise State.
Hey, kudos, and that's how it should be. Ride it out, man. The slogan's bleed blue, right?
I don't think you're too crazy either. What you said, Brian, about Sire Gaines winning the battle, even though Breezy Dupar is our guy.
Sherrod's
like,
winning that.
Sherrod's winning it. Yeah,
Malik
Sherrod's
Sherrod, yeah,
Sherrod is
1,000 yards
explosive.
at Fresno State, dude.
Yeah,
Just explosion in a like lightning in a bottle.
He's Malik. He's like a baby Malik. With the dude who went to Oregon from Tulane.
yeah, Hughes.
Yeah, Hughes. He catches the ball in the backfield, speed. Like Sire is just.
I think it's Gaines this year, next year.
Yeah.
He gets reps. He gets a ton of reps this year, but I think next year it's his job.
And one of them guys transfers out though. Gaines of Dunbar. One of them guys is gone by the end of this year.
I mean, their room is loaded.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Loaded.
But they had to go get Sherrod. Like they had both the guys ready to go, and that they weren't all in on him. And I like both guys.
I would say my boldest take for the college football season is that we're probably going to see more upsets from the American, Mountain West, the MAC, the Sun Belt for the big Power 4 conferences than we've probably seen in a while, because the competition is going to raise and increase. It's going to be G5 chaos all over the place, and it's starting in week 0. Then on top of that, I would say that the traditional blue bloods are going to return to dominance. Nebraska is going to be good again in 2025.
Year 3.
USC is going to be good again in 2025. Iowa is going to be good in 2025. Yes. Let's go.
9-3. That's my prediction. 9-3.
Vandy could be good in 2025. Year of our Lord. I know Vandy ain't no blue blood by any stretch of the imagination, but they've been the laughing stock of all the ACC, SEC for the longest amount of time. Knock on wood, Vandy fans. I'm just saying the traditional blue bloods that we've been sweeping under the rugs and just like waiting for them to just find some type of coming up and an awakening. It's finally going to happen this year. We're going to get rewarded and see that as college football fans. Like, just imagine how good it is for college football to see some of the juggernaut blue blood programs just wake up from the ashes. I think Georgia Tech is going to wake up from the ashes and be competitive this year and push for the ACC championship. Yes, I believe that. I do believe Miami is going to be good again this year. And it's going to be one of them teams. USC in Southern California. I believe it. 100%. I'm sold. And then as far as like, the Big 12, like there was a days where Texas Tech was like feared when they had Michael Crabtree and Graham. It was Graham Harrell, right?
Yes,
Yep.
Graham Harrell. Then Patrick Mahomes
Texas
was
Tech
there.
gonna be in there, man. Like the programs that have been afterthoughts, I think they're gonna rise from the ashes, and then we're gonna be looking at some new kids on the block. But really, they're just old faces that's just becoming re-recognized, And I think it's gonna be just brilliant for college football. Or brilliant for it.
I love it. I got one last one. Ready? I'm gonna go. I'm 4 doesn't sound as spicy or as bold, so I'm gonna go 5 SEC coaches get shit canned.
Whoa!
You want to be bolder and throw out which ones?
Well, I'll give you 2 off the rip: Mississippi State.
Yeah.
Oh,
and Arkansas.
Yeah.
Wait, so you're saying that they out
mid-season, out, fired, gone, mid-season?
Bro, you know how sad I would be if coach from Mississippi State got let go.
Levy?
Yes,
bro. Hey, listen. He came into a shitty situation, but he ain't done anything to make the shitty situation better. His first year there, dude, it was like almost like the same kind of controversy with the coaching staff and the program. It's like, bro, you got to come in and make things smooth, not stir the pot off the rip, dude. Like when it was 2 years of shit. And they haven't been putting up a good product, right? Yeah. That product on the field has not been good. They played good against South Carolina last year, but again, South Carolina was up and down. So I think that by the end of the season, that easily could be
Napier.
Yeah, that's true. Yo, if Flagway's not starting the season, bro,
is there a chance Elko gets fired already? Too?
Yes. Yes.
If Mike Elko loses early in the season and it's bad, like let's say like Notre Dame, don't they play Notre Dame first? No. I'm tweaking. Who is it? No, it's opening week 1.
I'm drawing a blank, but because they opened with Notre Dame last year.
Yeah.
And Stoops and Kentucky.
Stoops from Kentucky, he's out. He's out.
Yeah, bro. So
I mean, then you could it could be even worse. Like you could throw Vandy's coach up there too if they pull a Vandy and go back down.
You guys believe Brian Kelly? If LSU doesn't win at least 10, he's on the line. We're looking
he's
at
on
the
hot seat if he loses to Clemson week 1 because all the spice.
Oh yeah, the chatter will start. Yep, especially if it's a blowout. Yeah, chatter.
I don't know if Kiffin's on the hot seat.
I think Clifton probably has the most wiggle room out of all the ones.
I think he does too.
First year starter Austin Simmons.
Yeah,
they may have lived a little bit down to expectations because a lot of us had them in the college football championship, but they had a ton of injuries for a while. It was just Trey, and that was it in the wide receiver room. So yeah, I mean, I think they played well in the SEC. They were relevant all year in the top 25, top 15 for most of the season. You know what I mean? So
I got some dudes, man. That wide receiver is ridiculous.
Yeah, Deshaun Strickland is about to take off.
Oh my
bro.
Gosh. Yeah, I think LSU hot seat, possibly hot seat out of there. Sam Pittman, Arkansas out of there.
How he's lasted this long? He should have been gone.
Hey, I think it's LSU Auburn for the SEC championship.
What did you just say?
Yep. And
I had Auburn, Georgia.
LSU Auburn. I'm in on LSU like I've been in on Texas, bro. Everybody wants to, I am in. It's Nuss or bus, baby. Nuss if you bus. You know what I'm saying?
Wait. So you got Nuss versus Jackson Arnold.
Yeah.
You know how crazy that will be for storylines.
people are looking at Jackson Arnold as the Oklahoma Jackson Arnold, but you're not getting
No,
that.
he's not. He's
You're
not
getting
that
the
guy.
Gatorade Player of the Year, Jackson
Yeah.
Arnold.
With
50+
arguably
total
one of the
touchdowns
best quarterback
prospects
rooms or
ever
receiver rooms in
coming
the
I'm
out.
country.
cutting against the smoke.
Huh?
I got Oklahoma in the conference championship, bro. And I just think it's because John Mateer is going to just prove to be just too good. Like, he's just too good. We're going to watch John Mateer in 2025, year of our Lord, and literally look at the TV and say to ourselves,
He's going to have
how
to put
in
up
the
like
world did
35 and 20
Oklahoma
plus.
manage to get this dude, the second coming of our Lord and Savior, in the Oklahoma football
He's going to have
team?
to put up close to 60 touchdowns for Oklahoma to even sniff the championship.
Better bet your bottom dollar he can do it.
Stupid difficult.
If he playing into January, he can get that. Total 60 total touchdowns
For them to make the he's going to have to arguably have a better season than
going to be legit. Their
Cam
defense
Newton.
will be legit.
I would be like a
He's going to have to top
Georgia,
Cam Newton's season for Oklahoma to sniff the conference championship.
I think you'd have to have a Cam
Oklahoma
Newton
Georgia
SEC.
SEC championship.
We know that Georgia's going to have a defense, right? And I like Nate Frazier. I'm just not in on Gunnar Stockton. I'm not in on that wide receiver room.
Yeah, I can feel it. Do you think
I'm not saying they're bad? They'll be there. You know what I'm saying? But I think, bro, if Jackson Arnold plays to 85% of what he was prior to going, you got to remember, he was playing with a 7-string wide receiver last season, right? They're running back. He was the lead running back. Everyone wants to talk about Tatum and Barnes. He was still the lead rusher for that team with those freaking dudes there. So unless all of a sudden they just became, Herschel Walker and Barry Sanders, Bijan Robinson, in an offseason, I don't want to hear about it because you have to go out and get Jaden Ott, who I'm hearing sucked. And he wasn't even the best running back at Cal last year. So there's a lot of fucking questions about Oklahoma. And we're putting John Mateer on a pedestal. I think he's a stud. And yes, he's back with Ben Arbuckle. But
he deserves to be.
Oh, he is a stud, but he ain't putting up those numbers.
But he did that shit in the Pac-12.
That's what everybody uses as the answer. But if we talk about ball talk and straight film, his system is made perfect for him. That's the same way that we can look at Caden Bellcamp with FAU and say, like, oh, dang, he's teaching his wide receivers, like banking on him. I'm banking on guys that's coming into their systems ready to shine and ready to thrive. Like, you don't got to do any different learning of terminology. You don't got to worry about, like, oh, well, how deep is a curl route or a dig route in this offense versus where it was at Washington State. He come in with his guy, and I think the biggest adjustment probably is going to be the pace and the speed of the SEC.
That's what I'm saying.
You got me there. You got me though. Shake my hand. You got me. He's going to have to adjust to that because that junk is on another level.
You can't be dipping that shoulder like Cam Newton in the SEC.
He's still going to dip the shoulder.
Then is he going to make all them games, bro? Because if he runs like he was running was running like over people.
He not a Cam Newton build. I think we're not gonna see that. But for what he is,
he's a big boy.
He's more physical than we give him credit for. He had more evaded tackles, and like your boy Sam Levitt led the nation in scramble yards, but this guy was up there in the nation as far as just pure yards through rushing, because he's like that. He's a dual threat automatically. Brent Venables' job is saved because of John Mateer.
I'm in on John Mateer, but the competition he faced last year was trash, bro.
Hey,
bro, he barely put up 200 yards against Utah State. He barely put up 172 yards against Fresno State. So a lot of that stats is inflated in 3 big games.
But he played Boise and put up a hell of a game.
So we're just going to eliminate the fact that I just say 2 shitbag teams that he barely put up 200 yards in, and we're just going to say, well, he played Boise State, so that matters.
Nah, I'm saying that, like, when we use this argument of who he plays, you can only play who's on your schedule. But he wasn't a quarterback that said, hey, well, I'm going to be at Washington State, and then I'm going to pull my britches together, pack my bag, and go to Tulane. Oh, I'm just going to pack my bag and go to Memphis. oh, I'm just gonna go and join another American team, or maybe I'll just go to the Sun Belt and take over Clay Helton's team and JC French. I guess you got a transfer portal. Like, nah, he said, I'm going to the creme of the creme de la creme. I'm going to the best conference. I'm going to, like, I gotta look at a kid that makes that decision and then does it strategically and says, oh, I'm gonna follow my offensive coordinator. That's a bright kid to me.
Devil's advocate.
I can't knock him for wanting to go to the.
He's not playing in the Big Ten, so obviously he's not in the best conference.
No, hey, hold on.
Hey, listen, you got me.
I got nothing to do with that. My devil's advocate is, if you thought you were that good,
yeah,
why did you wait until your OC made a decision?
Timing.
Maybe you're that good in that offense, and that's it.
Timing, man.
So technically, he had the no contact tag as soon as
he was just going where Ben Armstrong was going. So it's a coattail ride.
Yeah. I feel like
I don't know if that's a talent thing or a guy that's choosing the creme de la creme, bro.
I'm with you. I think he's going to have to put up historic numbers for a quarterback, a dual threat quarterback for Oklahoma to even sniff it. So I'm not like, he's a great athlete, but like even on some like scouting boards at the next level, they don't have him as a quarterback. They have him as an athlete. And I don't think a player like that can take you as far as you're saying they're going to go. Like that's
I don't know what film they're watching, to be honest with you, bro. Like,
I have.
Taysom Hill's had a hell of a career as an
athlete. Right. 4 games against Mountain West teams.
That's a good point.
Under 200 yards.
But look, peep this. Do you agree or disagree that Oklahoma's offensive line is going to be better or worse? I mean, better than last year. You agree or disagree?
Agree.
I mean, they have to be better.
They can't be any worse.
Exactly.
They were bottom half of they were like 100 or less in the nation. So you can't get much worse.
So I'm looking at it like, okay, if we're looking at DJ Lagway's foot, Mr. can't stay healthy, his throwing shoulder, all these different things, and I still have to project for Florida to be good. And Florida probably has the edge when it comes to skill positions than Oklahoma. Would you say that?
Offensively, maybe not
defensively. Offense skill positions. You look at what ball in the backfield. The backfield.
Yeah, I would say I would have.
This is just based off of what you just said with Jaden Knott.
Yeah.
What Jaden Knott banged up.
I would say
year.
better. I think Jaden Ball's better than anyone in Oklahoma's backfield.
I want to debate that. But I would say to myself that like there's not a massive drop off. So all this thing, everybody is projecting Oklahoma and Florida just based off of schedule alone to struggle. When we know that every single year there's haves and have-nots of college football, we can't just base it off of schedule. So if we're just basing it off of straight ball talk and film, I think John Mateer is probably one of the most under talked about quarterbacks that people don't use the right talking points when they mention him. They mention things like, his competition he's played or the things of that nature. I look at the fact that he chose to come to the toughest conference and said, you know what? I'm going to go save Brent Venables' job. Any dude that can make that decision, knowing that the weight of the world is on your back and not running away from that, regardless of who's a running back, quarterback, running back, offensive line, whatever. He got his coordinator. I can project on him to have at least a good, solid foundation coming in. Like, that's what I'm saying. I think their foundation is better than what they were for Oklahoma. And I'm interested to see how Boone feels about it, being an actual Oklahoma fan. Like, is he buying into the hype? Because I feel like I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, and I might be premature. But I already popped open the Capri Sun, man.
I think he's got talent and everything. I just think that I don't think he chose to go to the best conference to save anybody's job. I think he chose to go follow his coordinator to make himself better. If he was as good as, I'm not saying he's not good. If it was as good as a lot of people in his community are putting him on, then he would have chose to go to a school. Didn't matter where his offensive coordinator was going. He would have said, I want to go to the best quarterback opportunity. What school has the best spot for me? What do you mean what? That boy waited till the very last possible portal thing till his coordinator decided.
Oklahoma.
What?
The Sooners.
But he was in the portal for how long? They said this dude was entering the portal for almost 30 days, bro, and had to wait till his offensive coordinator went somewhere else.
We're knocking him for being strategic when kids will flip for no reason?
You just said he went to the best conference. He chose to go to the
Yeah.
best conference to save someone's
SEC.
job. Nah, he went to the best conference to follow his OC, bro.
So
saving
Brent
nobody's
Venables
job.
didn't know coming into 2024 that his job was on the line.
If
Oh, yeah,
Ben
100%,
Arbuckle went to Florida State, and John Mattia went there, would Florida
Yeah.
State? Like you would say that he
I
went
would
to
be
the
saying
best
the
school?
same thing about Florida State.
You would say that he went to the best conference?
No, I wouldn't be saying
And
it.
it was
The
strategic
ACC
about
is
it?
not better than the ACC. Like we
I'm
got
not saying. Well, I'm
compartmentalized.
going by what you. I'm just saying he followed his OC. That was his decision.
Yes,
that
he
was
followed
major
it.
in his decision. That was
Uh-huh.
not about the best conference, not about the school that he was going to. It was where his offensive coordinator was going, so he could be in the same system. Point blank. Period.
But you're looking at that as a knock. How is that a knock for a kid that makes that decision? That's not a knock. That's
I didn't
smart.
say it was a knock. I'm looking at it as a fact. You just said he went to the best. He chose to go to the best conference to save a head
The
coach's
SEC
job.
is
He
the
did
best
not do
conference.
that. He did not
The
do that.
SEC
That
is the
wasn't the
best
decision.
conference.
I'm going to the SEC to save
He
Venables'
said
job.
second best.
You know what I'm saying? Like the way
SEC
you
is the
put
second
the
best
question,
conference.
and then I answer it in the same way that you portray the question, and now
No,
you say
but
it's a
you're
knock.
getting caught up on the offensive coordinator part. You're
You're
getting
not
caught up
taking
on.
into effect.
I mentioned it. I'm telling you
You
that's
rushed it
taking
to
into
the side,
effect.
or this conversation would have been over.
No, but you're arguing me up and down about the SEC to try to save Brent Venables' job. For me,
You
Brent
said
Venables'
that.
job was on the line. His job was already on the line at the end of 2024. We
His job
all
was
knew
on the
that.
line because his
What
defense
Navy
sucked
did to him
balls,
is
bro.
unacceptable. What Navy did to him is unacceptable. It's
Don't knock
unacceptable.
my midshipman.
Hey, I love the midshipman. They gave me a goat, bro. Like they did a great job, but it's unacceptable that you lose that and end the season on a low note like they did. His job was already on the line. So what do you have to do? You got to readjust the staff. You got to bring some talent in. What do you do with Jackson Arnold? Is he gone? Is he going bye-bye? He ultimately left.
He was out as soon as the portal opened.
Wait, say it again.
I said Jackson Arnold wasn't even a thought in this process because he was gone as soon as the portal opened. Out. See ya.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you have to replace. If you want to get a guy to replace, why? If you're bringing in a quarterback, that's one thing. But you brought in a quarterback and an offensive coordinator. You're talking to me about the timing of when it happened. I'm telling you that it happened. Doesn't matter the timing of it. It still happened. So based
All
on
I'm
what it
saying is you
happened, I
don't
gotta
take that into
evaluate and
effect
say,
at all into the process. It doesn't matter to you. Doesn't even. It's not a blip. You're trying to say that what I'm looking at. You said it. Not trying to say what I'm looking at is wrong. You pretty much said that.
no,
There's-
I'm not
people
calling
take,
you
yes,
wrong.
you said people talk
I'm
about
just
John
saying
Mattia
that what I'm
in a-
saying is not off the. I'm just saying that what I'm saying is not off. Like not crazy to say.
and
It's
neither
not
is what
crazy
I'm
to say
saying,
that
Moon.
Brent Venables' job was on the line. It's not crazy to say that the SEC is the best conference or second best conference. It's not crazy to say that Ben Arbuckle and John Mattia might be a perfect match in
Bro, I'm
heaven.
going in
And-
circles, and I don't want to do in circles no more, homie. You just keep saying the same shit, but you're not understanding the way I'm saying it, so it's kind of just useless.
All right, so break it down to me like I'm 5 and it's Toys R Us.
I don't think I possibly can anymore, bro. I pretty much just said what you said was one thing. You don't want to talk about that no more, and now you're
What about Brent Venables' job?
Yes, Moon. You said John Mortier chose
Yes.
to go to Oklahoma in the SEC to save Brent Venables' job.
That was one of the things just on a mission, as well as winning a national championship, as well as taking Oklahoma from this mediocrity place that they've been.
He said to
from
you,
being
I'm
able to
going to
thrive.
Oklahoma to save Brent Venables' job.
He might as well have that in his mission statement too. That's what
Bro,
you're coming to do. He
okay.
needed help.
I'm cool, bro.
Did he
We can
not
move on
need
to the
help?
next. I'm good. Come on, man.
I don't know what we talking about here.
I
Like,
lost you a long time
do
ago.
you
when
feel
we
like
kept saying
Brent
the same shit
Venables'
over and
job
over
was
again.
on the line heading into 2025? Yay or nay?
It was, but I don't think John Mattia went there with the sole purpose of saying,
Thank
Brent
you.
Venables, you're my guy.
It's not
I'm
the-
here to save you.
You
He went
went
there-
through
Not the
that shit,
sole
bro, and then
purpose.
backtracked.
I don't think it was on his mission statement at all. It wasn't
No,
A, B, C. It wasn't Z.
it was Ben
He
Arbuckle
went
and
there
fucking
because
offense.
my OC went there,
Oh my
and I
God.
know how to run his offense.
Man, is the point still the point? Like,
No,
is
Bro,
John
you keep
Mattia
doing
still a
this,
baller?
bro.
he's still a baller, but
So
And
we
when
talk
you make
about
when you
apples
stand
and-
on fucking business, bro. Stand
I'm
on the
standing on
business.
business. So you're basically you're nitpicking what I said. No, you're nitpicking what I said. It said, look, Moon said that John Mateer chose Oklahoma to save Brent Venables' job. I'm literally sitting here saying that, yes, he did, because that's one of the things that he has to do when you play well and you play like you're a Heisman contender quarterback when you're going to the University of Oklahoma. There's a different type of standard that comes with being an Oklahoma Sooner. Boomer Sooner. You know this. So if Brent Venables' job is saved because he ends up choosing John Mateer and makes a strategic decision to bring in Ben Arbuckle to marry that combination together to get the ultimate success with it, he wins. That's saving Brent Venables' job. I don't feel like I'm in the wrong for saying that.
Fucking lipstick, perfume, makeup, everything on what you just said 6 fucking minutes ago, bro.
How am I doing that?
I'm sorry.
Let's
move on to the next question, bro.
Let's get to the next topic.
I don't understand how I'm doing that when I'm literally telling you, you got it. I'm literally telling you that he's trying to save his job. Just like you told us last year that DJ Lagway was going to save Billy Napier's job. I'm just doing the same thing that you did.
I don't want to keep doing this move because you're not understanding anything I said. I said Napier's success rides on the hips of DJ Lagway. You're telling me DJ Lagway went to fucking Oklahoma to save a job.
Relies on John Mateer in him and how he marries together with Ben Arbuckle.
The same conversation, bro.
Let's move on to the next topic.
Next question on rapid fire. Actually, we got. I had to mention this. KT said that his biggest 2025 college football season take for this year was that FAU was going to win the American Conference and win the championship for the Owls in Boca Raton. Do you know? No. He's going to win the championship. That's his boldest take with Zach Kittley.
It may happen, but no.
Best offensive line.
My midshipman.
Best offensive. That's what he said. That I would be remiss if I did not include that in a part of the show. All right, let's keep it going, Dino. So we talked about the top 5 quarterbacks a while back in the ACC. Mm-hmm. I'm interested to know, because you just dropped it on Twitter. Shout out to you. What do you think that the top 5 quarterbacks are in the ACC? And you can give a little reasoning about why you feel that way or not.
Yeah. So my first quarterback is Cade Klubnik. Obviously, I think he's QB1 this year. And I don't think it's close. The way that he finished with Clemson, everything was just kind of clicking. So obviously, number 1. My number 2 is Kevin Jennings out of SMU. I think as soon as they plugged him in last year, he showed he should have been the guy immediately. He gives them that elusiveness to make plays happen even after they're breaking down. Led them to the playoffs. Obviously, didn't turn out the way they wanted to. But he's my number 2. My number 3 is Sid the Sloth from Ice Age, Carson Beck.
You called him the Sloth?
I did. Obviously, things that Georgia didn't pan out the way that they wanted to. He caught a lot of heat for Georgia's mishaps. But I think it's going to be a resurgence of his career, much like it was with Cam Ward. Kind of took him to the next level. So he's my 3rd. My 4th is Eli Holstein with Pitt. We saw how valuable he was to them. I want to say they were 6, maybe 7-0 when he was their starting quarterback. But as soon as he got hurt, their season fell apart. Pittsburgh still ended up playing an amazing bowl game against Toledo, but just imagine where they could have been with Eli. And then my 5th, I was kind of tossed here. I threw it out with Nino a little bit. I went Haynes King. I could have gone Menza with Duke this year, but I went with Haynes King. Again, you just saw how valuable he was to their team when he was in. They struggled the three games he was out last year. They started 2 quarterbacks over that 3-game span. So I'm with you. I think Georgia Tech could take that next leap this season. And a lot of it's going to be on the arms and the legs of Haynes King. So those are my 5.
Great stuff. I want to ask you something. How hard was it to go from like number 1 all the way to like that gap to 4, the 1 to 4 range? Because when I was doing this, my hardest time was trying to pick 2 through 4.
Yeah.
It was just 2 through 4.
So yeah, 2 through 4 was was more difficult. Just because I think one is way up here, and this is no knock on the other guys, but there's a substantial gap between 1 and 2. Honestly, you could probably put 8 guys, interchange them between the 2 and the 5. Like I said, I forgot Menza. He's not even a top 5 on my list. So, I mean, you could easily – Miller Moss isn't on the list. So there's a handful of guys who could have been in the top 5 in that 2 to 5 range.
Yeah. All right. My top 5. I'm kind of doing this on the fly too. Number 1 would be Cade Klubnik. I would put Cade number 1 just based off of what he did in 2024. We don't have to look at his full body of work and sample size, but anytime you're pushing his numbers through the roof for what he did in this past year with Garrett Riley, I feel like he could command that. He pushed 35 plus touchdowns. You're adding, I think he had over 250 plus yards on the ground rushing. Like, he was active, and he was a great reason why Clemson's offense took a massive leap. He got down on his turnovers. He was able to be more consistent and more explosive, not just with its intermediate and short area, but like deep down the field passing is where I was most impressed with Cade. He owns tons of Clemson records, and like he's already top 5 Clemson passer before his senior season. He's top 5 statistically in every Clemson passing statistic that you can think of, and he still has a season to go. So he's looking to break records this year, and I got Cade as my number 1. Number 2 was probably the hardest thing for me, bro, and I'm probably going to ruffle with some feathers by saying this, but this is projected by the end of 2025, not going into 2025. By the time that the 2025 season ends, the number 2 quarterback in the ACC will be Haynes King, Georgia Tech. Last year, he broke the record for completion percentage with a bum shoulder. Like, he was not even all the way healthy, and he still found a way to put up one of the best seasons in Jackets history when you look at the full body of work. I understand Aaron Follow is still there. Got him waiting in a cut, but for where we are and just keep our mind where they are, Haynes King, we talk about physicality as a quarterback position, not only being mentally physical, but also emotionally physical, leading this team and having the identity of this team ooze and work through you. And then on the quarterbacks, he's gotten better with his accuracy. People said, Haynes, why are you turning the ball over so much? Why are you turning the ball over, bro? That's Achilles heel for you. He cut down his turnovers significantly in 2024. That was Achilles heel, is not anymore. You talk about explosion. I'm looking forward to Eric Rivers being on the scene in 2025. Georgia Tech is going to have more explosion. I'm not going to compare Singleton and Rivers, but I think that Rivers could be a better fit for what this offense is trying to do than Singleton was, just based on speed, route running, body control, just being an overall gadget player. The wide receiver core is still something that I love, whether it's Malik Rutherford as well, the tight end room. I look at the offensive lineman led by Keelan Rutledge. I think he's going to be protected in a better way. And when I look at just Georgia Tech's offensive identity, it goes through Haynes King. The offense is the offense. It's going to be one of the most creative ones in all of the ACC and damn near the country. Haynes King is my number 2 quarterback heading in for at the end of the 2025 season. Number 3 was tough, because I was debating between Kevin Jennings and Haynes King, and I really wanted to put Kevin Jennings over barely, but I felt like Haynes' body of work over the last 2 seasons was enough to sell me. Kevin Jennings is a dude. A lot of people kind of push him to the wayside because of the performance that he had against Penn State, but they miss everything else that happened over the course of the season and how he just completely shredded and went stupid. He had his moments, he had his weeks. Make no mistake about it. He had to deal with the quarterback position at the beginning of the year, but when Kevin Jennings was on, he was on. The SMU offense looked like it was unstoppable at times. Even in ACC play, they had some moments where they got to get turnovers figured out. They have to, because they can't let that be an Achilles heel in 2025. But I'm looking at Kevin Jennings D now, and I'm like, I mean, if Cade didn't exist in this world, there would be a world where we would be talking about Kevin Jennings as the number 1 ACC quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So I have Cade number 1, King number 2, Jennings number 3, Carson Beck number 4. It was tough. I tend to like mobile quarterbacks more than the traditional drop back passers. But make no mistake, if you need a quarterback that's gonna be brutal in the short intermediate area, he's your guy. He's your guy. From what we've heard at ACC kickoff, his shoulder is ahead of time and ahead of schedule. And yeah, he's been throwing, but it's still ahead of schedule. So I like that. For what they are in their offense, I think their offense could have more consistency from just an offensive coordinator standpoint than what he had at Georgia last year at times. I think the problem was like Kirby Smart forces you, if you're a Georgia offensive coordinator, to be more vanilla because he wants to be vanilla. Just do what you got to do, get through it, give me the basics because our defense is going to win the game for us. And we want it to be that type of formula. So you don't have to be all creative. You've seen it in the past where like the name offensive coordinator slipped in my mind, but he worked well within the confines of that system for Kirby.
Mm-hmm.
Said, "Hey Kirby, you want me to do vanilla? Well, I'm gonna do vanilla bean with the little sprinkles. Yeah, does that still work?" Kirby was like, "Yeah, we were more explosive than we were in a long time." So like they had their own hiccups with Georgia. In Miami, I think this could be a better system for him, and I wouldn't be surprised if they end up doing numbers and putting numbers up this year. It's gonna look different than the Cam Ward experience for sure, but he can lean on his run game. He can lean on the tight ends that he has. He can lean on the offensive line that is with Cooper and Francis.
He'll have a stud defense too, to help him out if things get a little hairy for him.
Yeah. Carson Beck is number 4. Number 5. I thought about Chandler Morris so much in this spot, bro.
Don't do it.
I thought about Tommy Castellanos.
Don't do it.
I feel like I'm missing somebody though.
Menzel.
I'm going hosting. Yeah, I'm going hosting. Number 5. I think he just been kind of forgotten about because of the injuries and
like Nino, we were talking. Desmond Reed kind of blew up when he went out, and he's going to probably carry a brunt of the offense this season.
Yeah.
So
Desmond Reed is a dog, like 100%. I would love to see his workload increase and let like Coach Narduzzi really lean on the run game this year. So you don't have to have Eli Holstein in this crazy, ridiculous situations where it's 3rd down and 12 and you got to save us again, Eli, or unless we're going to have to punt. Like, so I got Eli at number 5. Outside looking in, you know, Tommy was on the outside looking in, Darian Mensah. I feel like I'm missing more quarterbacks because it's like at least.
There is. I mean, you got like Miller Moss, like you said, Tommy Mensah, Drones,
Kyron Jones, who got a good deal with his offensive coordinator switch.
I did, Brian.
Right. Kyron Jones, I'm looking for Kyron Jones to be better this year. I think he's gonna have more comfort.
He's gonna need to be.
Yeah, for sure. Do you feel like where we are in the current state of the ACC quarterback race, like for the teams that's at the bottom, how much faith do you have in their quarterback situations to like work yourself out for the best? Let's just say teams like Stanford, for example, or Syracuse with the emergence of Ricky Collins, or what that looks like. Those teams like on a bottom tier team.
I mean, Stanford, they've been kind of waiting for this freshman. I think he's a freshman, maybe he's a sophomore now. Brown. They've been kind of the last couple of years saying, "Hey, play this kid." So we're gonna truly see what he is. I just don't think they have the weapons around him for him to be successful to drag him out of the cellar. Syracuse, I'm still up on the air. I think Angeli may steal the job over Collins.
Over Collins.
So, I mean, again, it comes down to who is he going to throw the ball to? Or is it going to be more Willis pounding the rock sort of offense this year. Cal, again,
Cal is interesting too.
there's a lot of things. There's a lot of similar things between the cellar dwellers. Is the quarterbacks could be productive. They just don't have the weapons around them anymore to do it. Like, I mean, you look at Cal, they got that freshman coming in. They got Devin Brown, who is what he is. But again,
I think Devin Brown can win the job.
Oh, I think he could too. I think he's probably the leader to start the season, and his performance will dictate how far he goes as the starter. But again, I can't name a single person he's going to throw the ball to. So, and I think that's a major red flag. And like I said, could be said with Syracuse, could be said with Virginia, could be said with Stanford. So I don't see it this year, any cellar dwellers climbing the ranks to be relevant.
Do you feel the same way like with the North Carolina? Like with Gio Lopez coming there, but then still trying to figure out who is he throwing the ball to? I mean, Mario Hampton not coming back to save you. Like, what is he going to look like?
So UNC, they're kind of a tough one because Billy B could pull a rabbit out of his ass, and next thing you know, they got 10 wins just because that's what he does. But at the same time, yeah, I think Bill puts them ahead of the rest of those lower tier programs just because who he is and how he's forgotten more about football than a lot of coaches can learn. But yeah, I think they're kind of in the same situation. If he can last a year or two, though, I mean, the same could be said with any coach, but I think he puts them in the position where they can make the biggest jump out of any of these teams that aren't the top three teams.
I think Cal is probably my most intriguing one because Wilcox has been consistent for a while now. Like a while as far as him and getting his overall DNA to bleed through on his team. It was inevitable that we were going to get to 2025 and that we was going to be able to meet them and see it for ourselves. But seeing it for myself, I was like, yo, like Wilcox, I had to readjust my own perspective because I went down lower than I really was. And now having that corrected, I think Devin Brown can win, but I think they're gonna thrive based on just their defense. Like they're gonna have to figure it out on offense. I can't convince you right now, D, now that they're gonna have even a top 10 explosive offense in the ACC. However, with the changes that they're making with offensive coordinators, with the development pieces that they have around them, like Devin Brown couldn't help that McCord was in front of him and Will Howard was in front of him. Like, so I still got high hopes on Cal. I really, really do.
Yeah, I mean, I can say I just can't. I don't know any of the weapons. I mean, like you said, they lost Ott. They lost almost every single starting wide receiver this year. So that's my red flag there. But looking at like the ACC, I think for the foreseeable future, it's gonna be top driven. Yeah, like Brian said, Cal 2 years. If they're still in the ACC within 2 years, which I mean, obviously the media rights will keep them there, but it's gonna take a lot of these bottom tier teams to pull themselves out. I don't see any of them being the flash in the pan. Like even Duke with like one of the top transfer quarterbacks, I think they're still a mid-tier team in the ACC, which is crazy to think about. So it's going to take a lot of development, a lot of recruiting, and honestly a lot of luck for these bottom guys to pull out of the bottom.
I appreciate your perspective. I got the governor of college football on the line with me right now. While we talking about this conversation, we just had breaking news. We're trying to get everything figured out with our flights. With Yeah, I'm gonna call him back after the show. Um, we're trying to figure everything out with our flights to try to get to FAU's fall camp because they start, I think, tomorrow actually. Um, yeah, Wednesday for fall camp. So for those that don't know, Florida Atlantic University is going to be a stop on our tour where we're going to kick off the tour for the fall camp. And they were so gracious to be able to host us. So shout out to FAU's communication staff, all the people that's on behind the scenes that help make it possible. So we were trying to book all of that, get all the flights in order, debating how we were gonna drive, fly, that whole spiel. And there was just a situation that happened. So we were trying to navigate that. But to your conversation and what you're saying, I feel like you make some great points, bro. You make some very valid points, and I don't know how it all is going to shake out, but I do know that if we're banking on the top guys, at least our top five, who we have, how would you rate my list? You think I'm capping? I'm out of there crazy? Like, where would you look at my list and say, okay? Because, like, for example, I had Haynes King at number 2. You had Haynes King at number 5, I think. 5
Yeah,
or 4?
yeah, he was 5 for me.
Yeah. So, like, how would you grade my list? Because I give yours a solid. I give yours like a solid A, really an A, because I can't fault you for having Carson Beck that high.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably put you in the same boat because, like I said, 2 through like 8, you could flip flop those however you wanted and make a solid case for wherever you're going to put them. My thing with Haynes King over some of these other quarterbacks is, let me pull up my list while I got it here. Is
because you had Carson, you had Cade at number 1. You had what you have Carson at
Jennings,
2?
Jennings, then Beck, Holstein, King. So I'm a results driven kind of guy, and I think that may be the only reason why I put some of these guys over him. I mean, obviously outside of Beck with the last year, but I think he's going into a position where, like you even said, his wide receiver room, as scary as it may be better at Miami than it was at Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
And Georgia's room was pretty stacked the last couple of years. But I mean, and then the top 2 obviously made the playoffs, which is why I would put them there. But again, like I said, you could the top 2 through 6, 7, they could all be interchangeable. So I mean, I got no problem with your list having Haynes King as high.
It was gut wrenching when we had to fill it out voting for the preseason polls. That was the one that took me the absolute longest. Like Clemson's wide receivers their top 3 wide receivers could be all ACC by themselves. Like the top
100%.
3, Westcott, Williams, and more. Like they could be.
It's not out of the realm that each one of them could crack 1,000 yards either with Cade if he can stay healthy. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I got no problem if they were voted that way. So,
and I've been seeing a lot about Randall. Side note, Adam Randall. I've been seeing a lot about how he's going to be utilizing this offense like as I hate to use the term, but like a Swiss Army knife type of guy where he's going to be playing like running back wherever he needs, whatever, like a gadget guy for real. But they're going to scheme around him. So I got good things in store for Clemson. But when you talk about just overall loaded nature of the conference, I do think that 1 through 8, 1 through 9, even going all the way down to like Kyron Jones, Darian Mensah, Tommy Castellanos, just feels like I just said 3 of the same quarterback. Almost. And then when you look at just the overall body of work, it was hard for me because I'm sitting here thinking to myself, K is at a different level when it comes to just overall body of work. It seems like his is above everybody else. But I was really struggling with Kevin Jennings or Haynes King, bro. Because just based off of if we take the last year for Kevin Jennings, because it was on the year, the last year for Haynes, given that he had a shoulder, I'm like, what season to you is more impressive, Moon? I started to lean towards Georgia Tech, and Haynes King is more impressive. And it wasn't just him. had that conversation with myself when it came to Carson Beck. I had myself that same conversation when we talked about Holstein, because like, what is he at its core?
Mhm.
What does Pitt believe him to be, and what are they trusting him to be, and what does that look like in 2025? I basically say all of that to say that the ACC is freaking loaded.
Mhm.
Kind of slept on, because I look at the Big 12 as a conference as quarterbacks, but ACC might have some dudes that could really change the script. We talk about Cal. Brian said give Cal 2 years. They'll be challenging ACC power teams. I think I was more impressed to see just the fact that Cal was not phased by the off-season travel. I mean the travel just altogether.
Yeah.
Coach Wilcox, when I talked to him, he said that didn't bother them at all. They just left a day early and adapted and adjusted like that. So could they adjust better than what we hope? You know, I don't know. It's an intriguing conference, bro. It's a very intriguing conference. And I think opening weekend, while it won't tell us the full story, it'll give us a little sneak peek into what this story is going to be. Is it like Days of Our Lives? Is it like As the World Turns? Or is this another type of story like Captain Underpants, where it's just a joke? It's just a walking joke, bro.
Yeah.
Brian said, Kate Club is pure talent and he can back up the hype. King was my number 2 because of how well he played Georgia last season. That was a tough game. He took it to the dogs. I agree with you.
Yeah, there's a large gap, I think, like we were saying, between 1 and 2. Like the gap between 2 and what is it now, 15 is a lot closer than 1 and 2 is.
1 and 2. Yeah. I feel like we all are consensus. Like Kate is the guy. Yeah, we all are consensus about that. All right,
I would even say, like in the draft, like quarterback 1 to quarterback 2, there's a huge gap. And I'll be bold enough to say Cade is quarterback 1 and Nuss is quarterback 2. And I think the gap between there is pretty substantial.
Between Cade and Gus?
Yeah.
I mean, Nuss?
Yeah.
Hey, shake my hand, bro. Ball talk, you know what I mean? All right, let's get to this next thing. I'll probably let you take the case on this one before we get out of here. President Trump recently signed an executive order banning third-party play-for-play deals for college athletes. This will ban non-legitimate NIL deals, but allow legitimate name, image, and likeness deals. What are your thoughts on this, and how do you think that this is going to shape the future of where we are in the sport?
Deep down, I think it's just a Band-Aid, because yes, it says it's going to ban non-legitimate, but at the same time, there's wheeling and dealing that can happen. Like what's to say I don't give Pepsi an extra $1 million to throw at quarterback A to get him to come to my school.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just a donation to Pepsi at that point that they can use however they want. So like, that's just where my brain went with it. But at the same time, it could help slow down how crazy the portal's been and NIL's been since it came to fruition. So I can see the goods and the bads of it.
Hey, it looks like Sankey's meeting with Trump paid off.
There you go.
Hey, bro. Hey, go ahead, bro. Listen, I wanted Trump to stay out of this, bro. I just want him to stay out of it, man.
But at the same time, like Charlie Baker's done diddly squat since he's been in charge of the NCAA. So, I mean,
This is a fact.
I'm with you. It sucks that it had to come from the highest power in the country to some sort of relegation in all this. But
I'll tell you where I stand.
It needed to be done.
Yeah. I feel, and this is just me, I feel like it would have been more impactful for him to sign an executive order to make there be only one transfer portal window for all college football teams. If you play FCS, FBS, D2, D3, JUCO, only one transfer portal window.
Yes.
Executive order, signed the bill dated on July, whatever date we had. This
Season
news break.
starts August 1st. Season
August
ends
1st?
December 1st. That way
December
you can
1st.
use the Christmas holiday. Schools are always out. That's your transfer portal. I'm 100% with you.
I feel like that would have been more game changing than what he just did. Because I just feel like if you're talking about getting into it, you want to allow yourself to get into it and have a large, overwhelming support around it. For what I've been hearing, most of the people are like, "Why he even do this?" But some people are like, "Why I understand?" Because like what you just told me. But maybe I'm just being that guy that's being the butthole and saying, "Oh, Trump didn't do too much," but I mean, I feel like if you're going to insert yourself into the conversation, at least have something impactful that you can bring that can make a big change, sweeping change. You want us to love you for real? That would have just made all the coaches happy. Every college football coach in America, for the most part, would have been looking at you like, dang, Trump might be my guy, regardless of political views or any of the other policies.
That brought a little bit of sanity back to the sport if he would have done it that way.
One transfer portal window is where we need to be at.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
So we get to the end of another episode, Overreaction Monday. Brian said, my thoughts on the portal is that they should start treating it like a trade. Instead of transfers, making it a trade deal. Negotiate NIL payouts in cases of said trades. I mean, they are preparing for the NFL.
Yeah.
Can't be mad about it. That's a good idea. I mean, to be honest with you, I welcome all ideas at this point.
Yeah.
Because we need reform. How we can only get that by seeming to be aggressive. That's why I can't knock the move and say like, "Oh my God, boo Trump," whatever the case may be. Because I do think that it was needed. I just look at the more impactful piece. If he would have did that, hey man, you probably could have just fixed college football.
Yeah.
He probably could have fixed college football in a weekend because that's a great deal to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about executive orders. But hey, for an episode that we talked about D-Now's top 5 quarterbacks, the positional battles all across the land, fall camps that you would attend. We talked about rapid fire questions, including our teams that we need to be looking differently at. Who are your 2 teams, D-Now?
I had Tulane and Baylor.
I had Cincy and I think it was Cincy and Syracuse, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Teams that we expect to have different opinions heading after media days, I should say. We talked about our bullish take of the 2025 college football season. D-Now, what was your take again?
Navy will make the playoffs and Luke Fickell gets fired.
You said midway through the season too.
Yep.
We have that. I said that all the blue bloods in college football, the ones that we fell in love with, your mama and your daddy fell in love with, the Nebraskas, the USC, the Miamis, all those teams is gonna be good again. So the jam-pack episode in the vault, you already know what time it is. If you like the episode, special shout out to Nino too. I know he had to slide. Special shout out to Nino downtown. And if you enjoyed the episode, make sure you hit that like button. We'd love to connect with you more. Share it with somebody so they can become a college football fan. So we got T-minus 20 plus days before the college football season starts. So this is our time of the year. If you're a 1%er like us, somebody that likes college football content, news, coverage, and immerses yourself into it all year long, you found a perfect place for you to be here at CFB Nation. Make sure you check out our website, thecfbnation.com. Check out all the boys and their socials from the whole entire team on the CFB Nation Twitter experience. We don't call it X. The only X I know is Des Bryant. And all the rest of the people of the CFB Nation team, we appreciate you. For the people that we saw on media days on our trip, we appreciate you and show love to you. And if you stayed and watched the content throughout this entire experience, we got to give you love. We'll leave you on this nugget, D-Now. Give us something that we should be paying attention to this week ahead.
This upcoming week? Well, football's finally back. I'm pretty sure the Hall of Fame game is on Thursday. So it's the best time of the year. Football's back.
Definitely the best time of the year. something I'm looking forward to this upcoming week. With fall camp starting, positional battles are going to start shaking out. We're going to start to hear a lot of news coming out of fall camp. Like, this guy's not doing too well. I just say, give it a little bit of time, man. Just give it a little bit of time before we start making our decisions. But this is why we love college football right here. As August gets kicked off, there's nobody that you should get your journey of this college football season started with other than CFB Nation. Until next time, people, we send you out into your day. Make it a great one. D-Now, can you end the show for me, my brother?
I can't. I don't have that. Sorry.
I gotta have a random moment on the fly where we pivot. Talk about something real quick to the audience while I figure this out.
Yeah, so like I said, football's back, training camps. I'm excited. I'd have to agree with you. There's going to be a lot of teams that are going to surprise a lot of people and make a run. I don't know if I can drink the Kool-Aid of Nebraska, just because as an Iowa fan, can't do it. I mean, we beat you with
the Kool-Aid, the Wisconsin Kool-Aid.
Yeah, I mean, Iowa beat them with a walk-on quarterback who was a scout team linebacker for most of the year. So I can't do that. But I'm excited. Hey, Brian, thanks for being here.
Appreciate you, Brian. Appreciate everybody else tuning in, watching. Take care. We'll see you next time. This is Overreaction Monday. We actually did it on a Monday. Shout out to y'all for watching. Until next time, my friend. Yes.
Yes, sir. Today I am the governor of college football. Yes, sir. The mayor of college football, a.k.a. downtown Nino Brown. Yes, sir.